What's up guys, this is TCG Sam here, and in today's video I'm going to be profiling one of my favorite decks of all time, Deskbots. And while this isn't the most competitive deck out there, it certainly still has some great OTK potential, and I believe has lots of potential if we can actually get one or two more support cards. But anyways, with that being said, this deck does not include like hand traps, no CRYSTRON HALQUIFIBRAX combos, stuff like that, because I know that's not what you came to see if you're coming to see Deskbots. So this is like a pure OTK build. Obviously it's not the most competitive build, but it's really fun and it can still destroy your opponents in casual or even in a very small locals. But without further ado, let's begin. So starting off, one Deskbot 001. Honestly, like without HALQUIFIBRAX, I think you don't even need to play this, but the reason I like this so much is because it gives you flexibility as an Earth Tuner, which lets you summon stuff like Naturia Beast or Naturia Barkion, which is just really powerful because those are locked under like Earth effects, right? And this deck is all Earth, so you may as well take advantage of that. And then I play 3 copies of Deskbot 2. This one is the best one to machine dupe because you just get so many free pluses when you special summon them. Because as effect, when it's special summoned, you add a Deskbot card from your deck to your hand, and all machine type monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. So it helps you with your OTKs when you like use 3, summon 2, and then you just machine dupe into like into all these 2s, get searches, and then you just have 3 guys giving your monsters 1500 attack and defense. And then you can like turn them into like link material for stuff too. It's just absolutely incredible. 3-2 is definitely a must in the pure Deskbot build. Then the best one, in my opinion, one of the ones you want to see going in your opening hand, that's Deskbot 003. So its effect, when it's normal summoned, you special summon 1 Deskbot monster from your deck. So you're not summoning 001 most of the time, because like normally you summon 001 to make HALQUIFIBRAX, but like I don't play that in this deck. So 3 in its own deck actually is really powerful too. You can summon like a 2 from the deck, get a search right away, and then you have a link play with the 2 monsters, which is just really incredible. I can show you some of the stuff in the extra deck that lets you do some pretty cool combo plays with this. And its other effect is actually really incredible. So you target 1 Deskbot monster you control, it gains 500 attack for every Deskbot card on your field. So like when you have like machine dupe and 3 Deskbot 002s on the field, so you're gaining 1500, and then 3 is going to give something 2000 attack because you have 4 Deskbot cards on the field at the very minimum. Like that doesn't count like pendulum skills you're adding off to and stuff like that. So this just helps your monsters get really big to beat over stuff, which is kind of the main point of this deck, to OTK your opponent and just put really big monsters on the board. So yeah, that's 003. And then the next best one, in my opinion, is Deskbot 004. So his effect is pretty long. It's like a mini essay. So pretty much the gist of it, if it battles something, you can send a Deskbot monster from your deck to the grave. It gains attack equal to its level times 500. So if you send like a level 3, it gains 1500 attack. And when it destroys something by battle, you can special summon 2 Deskbot monsters with different levels from your hand and or graveyard. So like, for example, if it's big enough to beat over something on its own, you can send like 2, and when it destroys something in battle, summon the 2 from your graveyard, and then summon something from your hand and get a search off the 2. Or if you do something like 3, normal summon 3, summon 4 from deck, you get the flexibility to send something with lower level, if that makes any sense, because you'll have more attack from the 3. Like 3 will give it 1000, so you don't need to send that big of a monster to actually gain the attack you need. So this is just really good because it sets up plays with like your Deskbot 002, and if you're able to send Deskbot 001 to the graveyard, you get to make synchro plays. You get to make a Naturia Beast with this and 001, which is just really powerful. And then next, the best Pendulum Deskbot in my opinion, that's Deskbot 005, and all the Deskbot pendulums have a restriction where you can only pendulum summon Deskbots, which makes sense because there's scale 10 and 1, which are pretty good. So Deskbot 005's effect, when it's normal or special, you get to destroy a spell or trap on the field. And its other effect, when it's destroyed, you get to summon 1 Deskbot monster in your graveyard, which is just super powerful. Because you could like, if you have 1 in scale and you like pendulum summon 1 out, you can like pop the 1 in scale and get like something back from the graveyard. And it's a level 5 machine, which means you can make Cyber Dragon Nova into Cyber Dragon Infinity, which is just super powerful. And it's the reason why I like this at 3. It's the best one in my opinion, and it's one of the better high scales. I play 1 of each of the other pendulums. So 6 and 8 are going to be your like low skills. You definitely need low skills in this deck. 6's effect is when it's summoned, you get to change the battle position of something, and when it's destroyed, you add a Deskbot card from your grave to your hand, which can be good if you're adding back like a Deskbot 3. And then 7 and 8 have more attack-based effects. So 7 does piercing damage, and your opponents can only target 7 for attacks. Deskbot 008 can attack up to 2 monsters, and it gains... And, oh yeah, 7 and 8 gain 500 attack for each Deskbot card in the graveyard, so it can get pretty big later on in the game. But the downside with these are obviously they're big, you have to pendulum summon them out. So yeah, I only play 1 of each because first of all, you need them in the skill, and then you don't really want to draw multiples of these. Like, you may not even want to draw these at all. You'd rather just search them off 002 when you need them. To be honest, Deskbot 007, I don't think you need to play it in this deck. I just like it for the versatility it has because of like tokens and stuff. Like, you can give them, if you play Nibiru in this deck, you can give them, if they have like a 0 defense Nibiru, this can just be really huge and pierce over it for game. And then finally, 1 Deskbot 009, so the big boss monster of the deck. So what it does is, during your main phase 1, you make this card gain attack equal to the combined attack of all Deskbot monsters you currently control. So with 3 and 2, like just boosting your guys, you're gaining all that attack into 1 card. And so it only lets you attack with this if you use that effect. But when you attack, cards and effects cannot be activated. So like, if your opponent's floating effects can't be activated, which is really good. And it has protection against like stuff. So like if they try to ogre it or something, you can just destroy another Deskbot card you control instead, and still have it survive to swing for game. So yeah, this is your one punch OTK machine guy, which is really good. And then my personal favorite tech in this deck is the Symphonic Warrior engine. I play 3 guitar, 1 mics, and 1 basses. So guitar is the one you want to see. It's kind of like a Brilliant Fusion in that you activate it in skill, discard a card, then you summon mics from your deck. And what mics does is it lets you normal summon again during your turn. So there are going to be weird hands where you might draw like not 3 or 4, and you need to just normal summon like a 1 or 2 just to get monsters on the board. And Symphonic Warrior Mics just helps you do that, and it's level 5 machine for Cyber Dragon Infinity, which is pretty cool. And the reason I play basses is because the fact that it's a tuner can be huge, because you have so many different levels in this deck. It just allows you to summon a variety of synchro monsters from your extra deck, and the fact that it can raise levels to like meet the requirements of the synchro monsters you're summoning is just really good. So yeah, I just really like this engine, and of course they're all machines, which already synergizes pretty well with the deck. And then since it's going second, I play a Kaiju package. Play 5 Kaijus because these are really good at breaking boards, and you get rid of disruptions without and they can't negate it. And then 3 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. So with this deck, you really don't even need them to have a monster to OTK, unlike with like Utopia Double or something where they have to have a monster. But like the Kaijus are super good because obviously you're clearing out your opponent's disruption, and it allows you to continue with your plays. And if you resolve Kaiju Slumber, you should be winning because you already have a big monster plus your 4 other Deskbots. Like, you should just be OTKing them that turn, which is why I just really love this engine. It's just super good. Nothing much more needs to be said about that. And then probably the most iconic card in this deck, in my opinion, Triple Machine Duplication. So if you haven't noticed, all the Deskbots, their base attack and defense are like 500 exactly. So you can machine dupe pretty much all of them you play multiples of, which is a super good because you just get 2 free monsters. All their effects pretty much aren't once per turn, which is crazy. So if you summon like 2 2s, you get 2 searches, and if you summon like 2 5s, you get 2 destroys, like 2 spell and trap pops. It's just incredible. Like, nothing needs to be said about this. This card is just insane in this deck. And then I play 3 Forbidden Chalice. You could definitely play anything you want in this slot. I decided Forbidden Chalice was good because it's you're playing a going second deck, and if you need to like negate a monster or something, it lets you push through their boards, which is just pretty good. And like if they force you to go first, this is like one of your few interactions you have going first. I play a bunch of one-of spells. So Reasoning is good because, as you noticed, all the Deskbot monsters are different levels, and if you hit like a 2 or something off that, you just get so much value. Mind Control because you're going second, you can steal one of their guys, force out a interruption, and give yourself a link material. Deskbot Base, you can search it off Deskbot 002, and what it does, it gives all Deskbot monsters you control 500 attack and defense, and once per turn, it kind of acts like a Cosmo Town, in where you reveal any number of Deskbot cards in your hand and shuffle them into the deck, then draw the same number of cards. And its final effect is pretty cheesy. If you can banish 9 different Deskbot cards from your field or graveyard, and you shuffle all cards from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard into the deck. So like obviously that's not the main idea of the deck. It's just pretty funny if you can actually resolve it where you get late enough into the game where you can just banish 9 and totally destroy them. And then the 40th card, I decided to play Magical Midbreaker Field because you just want to prevent your opponent from being able to do anything to you in the main phase when you make all your Deskbot plays, because the magic happens in the battle phase with this deck. You gotta run over stuff and with like 4, and you gotta just one punch your opponent in the battle phase. So, like you just need to get to there with Magical Midbreaker Field. And for the extra deck, I played Naturia Beast. This is an Earth deck, which is just super powerful because it can make really strong synchros like this, which are specifically locked to Earth. Which is why I really love this deck, and which is why I feel like you have to play at least one copy of Deskbot 001, because Naturia Beast is just too powerful of a card. I'm playing one Chambara. This is for OTKs. It's a machine, which is pretty nice. So like, if you guys didn't want to play something like Forbidden Chalice, you can play Triple Limiter Removal. It's a pretty funny card. I don't think it's that good in my opinion, but like you can definitely play it, and you just to completely destroy your opponent with like Chambara or something. One Barkion because like I said, it's an Earth deck. And then play Ignister Prominence. So this card is actually super insane in this deck because once you make it, you can destroy one of your Pendulum Scales, non-targeting, shuffle one of your opponent's cards into the deck, and then you trigger that Pendulum Scales effect if it's a 5 or a 6. So like, you can summon a 7, which is also why I think Deskbot 007 is pretty necessary to make this, because this is just so powerful. You get a free shuffle, and then your Deskbot 005 or your Deskbot 006 get free pluses in addition to that. So yeah, this is really strong. And then last synchro I play is Deskbot Jet. So this is actually as you can see, this is the part of the Deskbot deck actually, and its effect is incredibly good. So what it does is it gains 500 attack for each Deskbot card on the field. So it can get pretty big if you have a bunch of 2s and other cards on the field. And once per turn, you can destroy a Deskbot card you control, and you can like special summon one Deskbot monster from your deck, which is really strong. Or you could destroy one Deskbot card you control and one face-up card on the field. So it's like a Scrap Dragon, and it tutors from deck. And on top of that, if you're destroying stuff like Deskbot 005, you just get so much value from it, because you get to summon back one of the synchro materials from the graveyard, and you get a plus from Deskbot Jet if you summon from like a 2 from the deck or something. It's just super strong. Which is why if you can make this, like, you should be winning that game, because this card is actually super powerful, and it's generic. So if you guys actually want to incorporate like a level 10 synchro engine to turbo this out, that'd be pretty cool. Please do let me know in the comments below, because I'm actually curious to see if there's any like super easy combos to get into like a level 10 synchro, because it's generic, which is huge. And on top of that, you can like destroy itself and summon something from deck to like kind of act as a starter or something, which is a good thing to keep in mind. Then for XYZ's Gear Gigant X, you can dupe machine dupe number 4 to make this. Get an extra search for like Symphonic Warrior guitars or something. It's pretty good, self-explanatory. River Stormer is like a rank 5 version of Gear Gigant X. Pretty much you just detach from material and you take an Earth Machine monster. So you add any Deskbot from your deck to your hand, or you can even send like Deskbot 1 to the grave if you want. And if it's in the grave, you can tribute a Machine Link monster, special summon this. This can be pretty cool. But anyways, it's just like a level 5, rank 5 version of Gear Gigant X. And then one Nova, one Affinity. This is pretty good because you have a lot of level 5 machines in this deck, and this is super powerful. It's a free negation and a free removal. Not much more needs to be said about that. And then for the Link monsters, Akashic Magician. Because all your monsters are machines, this is just like free removal, which can be pretty cool. And then Platinum Gadget. So this is actually one of your super great combo extenders. So what I mentioned earlier, you could like normal 3, summon 2. 2 can search like any level 4 lower machine. So like if you want, you could search like a 4 and then link these 2 into Platinum Gadget. Platinum Gadget's effect lets you summon a level 4 or lower machine from your hand to a zone it points to. So you summon 4. And then enter battle phase, attack, you send like, I don't know, let's say you send like a 5 or something. And then 4's effect triggers, you destroyed a monster by battle. You can summon back like the 5 and the 2. Get a spell or trap pop, and 2 gets you another search, which is just super powerful. It gets you 3 link monsters on 3 link materials on the board, but unfortunately you can't use this as link material during the turn to summon, so yeah, it stops you from going much further than that. But Platinum Gadget is actually super good. Cleave for Genius is the next one. You just negate a face-up card on your field and face-up card on their field. It's pretty good. And if you summon this before you pendulum summon to its zones, you get to search Jizukuru, or you get to search You get to search any of your high-level Despots, which can be pretty cool. Yeah, Cleave for Genius really good. Next I play Alsa. Your whole deck is Earth, and you can the fact that I guess you can steal something for your opponent's graveyard and link up into something else like Nightmare Unicorn. It's just a generic link 3, really good. And then finally I play Access Code Talker. You're swarming the board so easily in this deck with machine dupe and like 4s and stuff. So what you can do once you get like a bunch of monsters on board, you can maybe link up into an Akashic Magician, remove something, and then use this and 2 other monsters, make Access Code Talker, and just pop another one. It's just really incredible. Yeah, these should be your finishers. You don't really even need them in your extra deck because your main deck just does enough OTKing on its own. But anyways, yeah, that was it for the extra deck. Alright, so that's going to do it for my Deskbot deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Just please keep in mind once again that this is not the most competitive build, and I know that. I just want to show you guys something fun for a change, and you guys should definitely try this out because it's super cheap, budget friendly. You don't need the expensive cards I'm showing like Access Code Talker. The main deck should be extremely cheap, and it's like I said, it's super fun just to OTK your opponent with these little robots, and it's really cool. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe because it really helps keep me motivated to keep posting videos, and it helps the channel grow. So thank you guys so much once again for watching, and I will see you soon. If you guys want the cheapest Yu-Gi-Oh cards on the market in Canadian dollars with free shipping to Canada, then be sure to check out my eBay page in the description below.